I don't know if D.H. Lawrence imagined the mind of the high diver when he brought up the matter of talking, but I certainly thought of him when she mentioned overanalysis becoming a substitute for letting the body dive. Let me say this another way from Forrest Church, the late minister of All Souls Church, Unitarian and Universalist in New York City. We still do miss him so much. He wrote in his book, Everyday Miracles, "The power which I cannot explain or know or name, I call God. God is not God's name, God is my name, for the mystery that looms within and arches beyond the limits of my being. When I pray to God, God's answer comes to me from within, not beyond. God's answer is yes, not to the specifics of my prayer, but in response to my hunger for meaning and for peace. Choose life and trust life. Grow in service and love is the message. Take nothing for granted. Be thankful for the gift. Suffer well. Dare to risk much. Consecrate your world with laughter and with tears. And know not what I am or who I am or how I am. Know only that I am with you." I think this would be one answer to Harry Schofield's question about presence. Forrest goes on, "Responding to God's yes, I can do no other than to answer yes in return." It means responding, not to every little pull that comes along, but saying yes to the deeper call of life, not stepping back in fear or overanalysis, but letting your body dive, even when you're not sure how you'll land or if you'll remember how to do the dive. We are participating in a conversation of depth with our very lives, letting our bodies dive. Not long after I preached that sermon at the minister's convocation, I received a postcard in the mail. It said, "I thought of you when I saw this picture, and I thought I'd send it along as a way to say hi and thank you. No response needed. Douglas Wilson," one of our ministers. On the other side of the postcard was a picture he had clipped from a magazine of an oil painting by a contemporary artist in Italy, Vainer Vaccari. It was called, I don't know Italian, but giù in fondo, deep down. The painting showed a man way up on a rock, a dark rock, positioned to dive. In fact, he was beyond the point of diving. His body was arched and he was up on his toes, and it was very clear that the center of gravity was already past the point of no return. His head in the painting is turned away from the viewer of the painting, so you only see the back of his head, looking up at a figure that's up in the air on a kind of horizontal plane, not exactly an angel, but anyway, floating above him in the air. And the figure, reminiscent, is pointing straight down. I have kept it on my desk since the day I received it. With Vaccari's permission, the painting is reproduced on the front of the cover of the Book of Sermons. Every time I look at it, I am reminded that there are still depths to plumb. Still, not depths of despair, though sometimes it becomes that. Not depths of meaning and purpose. And I am reminded once again of the task of religion, the task that belongs to all of us in this little religious tribe of ours, not to allow ourselves to remain in the shadows, to remain in the shallows, but to dive one more time into the unknown, where God and where the eternal yes abides. Amen.